The Tragedy of Cinema podcast is intended as a family-friendly program that by extension strives to be inclusive to all people regardless of their ethnicity, gender, creed, or any other identifying factors in this incredibly diverse world of ours. With that said, some of the films we discuss may contain serious subject matters or have content considered morally objectionable by today's standards. We do not intend to condone or dismiss these aspects of these films, but our primary focus will be on what we believe the film succeeds at, some fun facts, and our personal enjoyment factors of each film. With that said, we hope you enjoy the show.
From the director of Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Adam and Barbara are
ghosts.
What's the good of being a ghost if you can't frighten people away?
Their house is being haunted by the living.
Maybe the house could use a little remodeling.
And they can't scare them into leaving.
They're dead. It's a little late to be neurotic.
So they're calling on Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice!
Who's no ordinary ghost.
You don't want his help.
Can you be scary?
What do you think of this?
Now, the party's over.
You want somebody out of the house? I want to get somebody out of your house.
But the fun has just begun.
It's showtime. Learn to throw your voice, fool your friends, fun and party.
Not bad.
This is amazing.
Want a cigarette?
Oh, no, thank you.
Oh, yeah, here I come, baby.
He's guaranteed to put some life
Attention, Kingword shoppers.
in your afterlife. Michael Keaton is Beetlejuice.
I'm the ghost with the most, babe.
Alright guys, welcome back to the Tragedy of Cinema podcast. I'm your host Jimbo and joined once again
By the lovable Kyle.
Kyle, we are fresh off our live show last Saturday. What an unbelievable and amazing experience. That was so fun to meet so many new people and friends and family and everything about it.
Yeah, great hangout, great time.
Yeah.
Fun times.
Gave away a lot of movie posters, DVDs, even a cardboard cutout of
Michael Keaton
as Beetlejuice. So that was really cool. In case you don't know, we are doing Beetlejuice. This is going to be longer than our live version of it because we left time for Steve and Rebecca Emery to talk about Connor and the loss of their son due to SUDEP. So if you want to go check out their foundation, the Connor Emery Epilepsy Foundation, you can learn a lot of stuff about SUDEP and epilepsy and stuff like that.
Good cause for awareness.
Right. So we're going to give a little recap of our live show. Met a lot of good people. One of the grand prize drawings was won by Carol Hedges. We're getting her a t-shirt sent to her, and we also said, hey, you can come on the show, or you can pick the movie if you don't feel like coming on the show. So she picked Dirty Harry. So next week we will be doing Dirty Harry for our winner, Carol Hedges, which is the mother of Todd Hedges from Middle Aged and Creeped Out. So that was pretty cool too. And how about them guys? Them guys are great. So Todd, Sean, and Nate. Even Nate, we surprised Nate with the first ever Tragedy in person award, for outstanding editing and sound. So they all had fun with that. And also a special thanks to Jerry and Tracy Pauly for putting on the event, because without them, none of it would have been possible to begin with.
Oh, yeah. Great organizing events. Really appreciate it.
Go give Hillbilly Horror Stories a listen. We love them guys, too.
Yes, of course.
So, Kyle.
Yes, Jimbo.
I got 2 reviews. I'm going to go ahead and read both of these. So, good, bad. I said we'd reread them all, right?
Yeah.
So,
good or bad.
The first one, it's called They Sure Know How to Beat a ... This is from July 6, 2022 by J Put 13. 2 stars. Listen to an introduction podcast today through another podcast I listened to. This show is very informative, although I'm not sure anyone really needs to know how many actual feet of film was used. But they just kept using the same old joke about a mispronounced name throughout the entire episode. Like every time this person was mentioned. Once or twice was fine and repeated later on in the episode, but every time. Not sure I'll listen again, but if that's how it's going to be. But I did learn some cool stuff about the film they were discussing. So
yeah, we're going to keep beating that dead horse till it stops laughing.
So unfortunately, the movie that I was going to send to Hillbilly Horror Stories, because Jerry wanted something, was going to be Young Frankenstein. Mm-hmm. But Kyle, as you know, my laptop was full of storage, so I had to go ahead and make some room to delete. So I ended up sending Gremlins over to him. So I'm sure this is where this came from. And that was obviously the one show that we did where we did beat the dead horse because you kept mispronouncing the name.
Yeah,
so,
I did.
Hey, at least they gave us a listen, right?
Yeah.
We're not always like that, but we do like to have fun. So we thank you for giving us your time to listen. And if you said listen again, we'll try to keep Kyle under reins next time.
Exactly.
And then we have another one from, this is from Siobhan. He even puts, it's spelled Sibhann, but he even says it's pronounced as Siobhan. So at least he put that in there so I didn't butcher his name, or you really didn't butcher his name.
Very kind of him.
This says The Crow, it's 5 stars. He says, love your podcast. If possible, could you do The Crow, please? Thanks for that, Siobhan. Yeah. So guess what, Siobhan? After Dirty Harry, we have decided that we're going to do The Crow for you. So, like I said, if anybody has any suggestions on what we should do, send them in to us. We will do it. So, also, on the tail end of that, I also got news that we were in the top 200 podcast in New Zealand.
I know, right?
I know. World famous.
Yeah.
So,
how many podcasts are in New Zealand?
I mean,
170. Huh.
Not only is the greatest listenership in New Zealand, but also one of the greatest trilogies ever made. The Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Kyle's going to say Star Wars.
I was.
No, I can't take you anywhere.
Yeah.
Also, Saturday at the live event, I met Paul Savell. I hope I said his last name right, and Amy.
Probably.
So yesterday, let me recap this. So Saturday when we were leaving, I was talking to Paul outside, and his wife walked out, but her back was hurting. I said, well, Paul, you need to, go home, give her a little massage, give her a bubble bath, and then let her turn in for the night, and you take care of everything around at home. And they said, well, we've got a young kid at home, I think they said 5 or 6, that was going to be doing a science experiment, so they don't know what's going to happen when they get home, that somebody was supposed to be watching her. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, she's probably just trying to make a volcano. Yeah. So, like we all used to.
Yeah, everyone makes the volcano.
So he sent me this message on Facebook Messenger. He said, hey, man, I thought that you might get a kick out of this. As we were leaving, my wife and I said something, our youngest doing a science experiment while we were at the show, and you said something about going home to a volcano in the kitchen. Well, when we got home and started asking her, she's almost 6 years old, mind you, he said. What were you trying to do with the food coloring? Absolutely no lie or exaggeration. Her response was, I was just trying to do a science experiment and make a volcano. so it's pretty ironic that that's exactly what I said. So
everyone loves a volcano.
Paul, I hope the food coloring didn't get everywhere and you got everything cleaned up nice. And let your wife relax while you took care of that. So it was nice meeting them. Very nice folks. They're here in Indiana too. So very cool, very cool.
Yeah.
So Kyle, I think that's about enough of the live show recap.
Now into the movie itself.
No.
Oh.
Not yet.
Not yet.
I have a question.
Oh, you have a question. Oh, jeez. A question.
Kyle, you thought I was going to give you the same question I gave you at the live show.
No.
But I'm not. Because the question
I'm unprepared.
The question at the live show was, what was your favorite Michael Keaton movie? Mm-hmm. Because we all know he stars as the main role Beetlejuice.
Yes.
And you said...
That's a good question, Jimbo. That is the question you're going to ask me, right? That's the question.
What did you say
on Saturday? I've slept since
what did you say on Saturday?
What did I say on Saturday? It wasn't the Batman. It wasn't Multiplicity. What was it? It was Morbius, probably.
No, you said Multiplicity.
Multiplicity, yeah, for sure.
And mine was...
That's a good question again.
Man, Kyle, you're batting 100 today.
I really am.
Mine was Mr. Mom.
Mr. Mom. That's correct. So it is your life story, Mr. Mom.
It's pretty much based fact for fact.
It's based on you.
So today I thought we'd give you a little different question. Mm-hmm. So Kyle,
Hit me with it.
What is your favorite Gina Davis movie?
Gina Davis movie. Oh.
No cheating. Don't look.
I remember this. The Long Kiss Goodnight. That's a great Gina Davis movie. Yes, absolutely. The movie's amazing. It's got Samuel L. Jackson. Has one of the biggest explosions ever. Oh my gosh. Seriously, they just, I think they put all the TNT in the world and detonated the last scene in that movie. It's amazing. We got to watch that sometime in the podcast. Yeah, Long Kiss Goodnight, easily. Great movie.
Very good, very good. I would have to say probably A League of Their Own.
League of Their Own. Also, it's the movie Tom Hanks. Always can't go around Tom
There's
Hanks.
no crying in baseball. We need to do that movie too. So.
Yeah.
So, Kyle, let's go ahead and start talking about Beetlejuice. If you were at the live show, there will be some repetitive material in here, but there's a lot more that we didn't cover. So
definitely a truncated version for the live show, but this will be the full fat podcast glory of bad jokes. So let's get into it. Beetlejuice, released on March 29th of 1988, directed by Tim Burton of Night Before Christmas fame and Pee-wee's Big Adventure as well.
I can't believe that.
Probably made his biggest breakout here, but this was probably his biggest, the real breakout, oh my gosh, we got to pay attention to Tim Burton now kind of movie. Also written by Michael McDowell for the story and screenplay, Larry Wilson for the story, and Warren Scarron for the screenplay. Composer was Danny Elfman of many great films. I can't list them in my head, but then we have the budget of the film of $15 million in 1988. That'd be worth about $30 million today. Then for opening weekend, it came home only with $8 million, so disappointing first weekend, but that'd be equivalent to worth about $20 million in today's currency. But gross worldwide is where it made the big bucks. It grossed $74.7 million, worth approximately $187 million in today's money, so very big success for the time there. And definitely had a slow start, but a long road ahead of it of making big bucks. So good for them, Beetlejuice. I'm sure Michael Caine and Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis were very happy with that. And let's see here, a brief synopsis of the film. Adam and Barbara, who are moved to a countryside home, unfortunately become deceased and begin to haunt their countryside home, only be tormented and harassed by their new moved-in neighbors, I believe they're, the Matlins? No, not the Matlins. No, they're the Matlins. Adam is the Matlin. Only be moved in by the Dietzes, who terrorize the home with remodeling and general chicanery and just destroying the whole vibe of the countryside. Norman Rockwell-esque neighborhood. And so to try and haunt him, they try and get him to move out, but when that fails, they turn to Beetlejuice, a rambunctious, almost ghost who is more dangerous than he's worth and threatens both Adam and Barbara Matlin and the Dietz's daughter, Lydia. Whew. So, moving on here, we got the awards for the movie. We're going to have the awards here going for the 1989 Academy Awards, where it won the Oscar for Oscar.
Boy, your Southern Indiana drawl is coming in today.
Oscar for Best Makeup. Then in 1989, it won the Best Film Music Award for the Best Film Music Award awarded to Danny Elfman. And then in 1989, it was added to the National Society Film Critic Awards for it won, which it won, and then in the Young Artist Awards, it won the Best Family Animation or Family Animation or Fantasy Motion Picture. There we go. We're still getting the words in right to this morning. Let's see here, and that is the awards for Beetlejuice. Brief technical details right here. We only have a runtime of 92 minutes. Color film, Dolby Stereo. And there is a new 4K just released back here in 2020, so check that out. You can see all those rich green colors and green black and nice color depth going on HDR 4K for the new re-release in 2020, so gotta check that out sometime. I bet it looks really nice. Then moving on here, we have the cast. We have Michael Keaton playing the titular Beetlejuice. Michael Keaton, of course, best known for pretty much this role, and also playing Batman and Batman Returns in 1989 and 1992, respectively.
Yeah, Bruce Wayne.
Jimbo.
I caught him off guard. He was like,
have you ever noticed? You ever seen Batman and Bruce Wayne in the same room together? Weird. And of course, Michael Keaton was in one of Jimbo's favorite films, Mr. Mom in 1983.
And then my favorite film and my favorite Michael Keaton film, Multiplicity, in 1996. And most recently, in the biggest movie of all time, he was most recently in the end credits of Morbius.
Have you watched The Founder?
No, I have not.
About the McDonald's, Ray Kroc and him?
No, I've heard good things about it, though.
It's a good movie.
Over the top, yeah. I always were checking out Michael Keaton. Yeah. So now Morbius obviously being a joke. That movie flopped twice, so good for them.
And Kyle went both times to see it. So.
I've seen it once in theaters. I can say that for sure. And man, it was everything I hoped it wouldn't be. No, very bad. Next up, we have Gina Davis playing Barbara Matlin. Gina Davis, also best known for movies such as Thelma and Louise in 1991.
That was a good movie, too.
Jimbo's favorite here, A League of Their Own in 1992. A Long Kiss Goodnight in 1996. That is mine. And then we have the Fly remake in 1986.
That was good, too.
Yeah, absolutely classic, the Fly remake. Just, oh my gosh, what a disgusting but lovely movie. Then we have Alec Baldwin playing Adam Matlin. Alec Baldwin, of course, best known for playing such movies such as The Hunt for Red October, where he played, I believe it was Jack Ryan was the name of the character. Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan, that's the whole series. He was also in The Edge in 1997 with Anthony Hopkins, great movie. He is the Boss Baby in the film The Boss Baby in 2017, which at this point might be his highest grossing film ever, I think, which is insane to think. And he was also in the 30 Rock TV show from 2006 to 2013.
And it's sad to say, though, but he's best known for probably won't even be a movie.
Just
Rust recently,
the
movie Rust, where the tragic event where the
prop gun
was filled with real bullets. Kind of like the Crow we're going to talk about in a couple weeks, where he did the scene and he pointed the gun and shot, and I hit one person, and then it actually killed the lady director.
Yeah, the director.
So same thing happened to Brandon Lee, but we'll get to that when we talk about the Crow.
Terribly sad. I didn't know whether we were going to glaze over that or kind of address it head on.
Well, I mean, he's done some great movies, but I don't think it's right that his entire career be focused on one bad thing. I think he still needs to recognition where recognition is deserved.
I think he will. Ultimately, I hope they do move past this in a way where...
And I hope he can move past it, too.
I hope he and everyone involved can find a way to move past it, and hopefully, not a positive note, but not feel like they were mistreated afterwards. This is a terrible tragedy and an accident that happened that should have and could have been avoided, hopefully. And hopefully there's a path moving forward where they can all move on and still have, successful careers and life going forward. And Alec Baldwin, of course, and he's at the end of his career anyway, so not necessarily bad either way. But next up, moving on with the cast here, we have Winona Ryder playing Lydia Dietz. Winona Ryder is perhaps most easily recognized right now, and perhaps even most well known for in history for her role as Joyce Byers in the currently running show Stranger Things since 2016. I feel like Stranger Things was kind of like that, the second big wave for Netflix. There was House of Cards right there at the very beginning. That went kind of south because of Kevin Spacey. but Stranger Things kind of came back with a big fury and kind of solidified a lot of what Netflix was going forward.
Well, not only that, but it crashed the servers the day when the last two episodes came out. It crashed the servers.
It crashed Netflix. Yeah, so incredibly successful going on her having probably the height of her career to an extent right now as well, with Winona Ryder's role in Stranger Things and probably in movies going forward too. So hopefully great actors. And of course she's also in films such as Bram Stoker's Dracula in 1992.
That was a good movie too.
And Edward Scissorhands back in 1990, another Tim Burton film.
Not so good. Kyle likes it. I know he does.
I'm too far away from it. I haven't watched it in a long time, so who knows? I really like it. I don't have that adult perspective on Edward Scissorhands. Next up, we have Catherine O'Hara playing Delia Dietz. Catherine O'Hara is probably most easily recognized from her roles in the original Home Alone movies, Home Alone 1 and 2, where she played the mom in 1990 and 1992. Calvin! All that fun stuff. She was also in the film Best in Show in 2000 and the film Killers in 2010. Next up, we have Jeffrey Jones playing Charlie Dietz. Jeffrey Jones is also in the film Ferris Bueller's Day Off in 1986. Howard the Duck, also in 1986, and Amadeus in 1984. Then we have Robert Goulet playing Maxie Dean. Goulet. I think it's Golette or something like that. It sounds Italian. Robert Goulet plays Maxie Dean. Most well known for being a singer who performed in such of the songs in True Story 2. Performing songs such as movie soundtracks, specifically. Like in Toy Story 2, he did the version of You Got a Friend in Me. And in The Simpsons, he performed the Jingle Bells Batman Smells, which caused like a Mandela effect where people thought like that was like an older song than it was. Even though it was like, no, it's just the 90s when that originally happened. So it's just that one Simpsons episode of Jingle Bells, Batman Smells. Batman Smells, of course, being Michael Keaton. And he also appeared in some films such as I Deal in Danger in 1966. I'd Rather Be Rich in 1964, and he was in The Naked Gun in 1988. Then moving forward here, we have Sylvia Sidney playing Juno. She was in the films You Only Live Once in 1937, Fury in 1936, Mars Attacks in 1996, and Dead End in 1937. Sylvia Sidney played a smaller role here in the movie Juno, but like I didn't realize like the more I read it, like, oh wait, she was a serious actor for literally decades and like had a whole giant career and like great stuff for her. She's been in a lot of great films. So Sylvia Sidney is awesome in my book after reading up about her and doing this podcast. Next up, we have Glenn Shattuck playing Otho. He was in the film Demolition Man in 1993, where he played basically the exact same role as he did in this film. And I mean that in just character and mannerisms. He really kind of nailed it out of the park of just being a peculiar, larger man. And,
well, thanks.
And you also in the films Dustin Checks In 1996.
That was a funny movie. Did you ever watch that?
No, I've never seen
it. About the orangutan or monkey or whatever. He checks into the hotel or whatever.
I saw the poster of it and I thought, like, this looks like kind of like straight to video almost. The moment I see a monkey on a cover of a movie poster, I'm like, it's a joke movie. And he was also in Meet the Applegates. And then finally we have Dick Cavett playing Bernard. Dick Cavett, of course, best known for The Dick Cavett Show between 1968 and 1977. So that's his little place in history. And that is the cast of Beetlejuice. Jimbo, take it away from me.
You done?
Yes, I'm done.
All right.
That's what I'm going to do for my part.
So here we go. Time to get into some of the meats. Kyle gave you the potatoes. I'm going to give you the meats. Yeah. The deets.
The deets. The All
right. Tim Burton originally wanted none other than famous Rat Pack actor, singer Sammy Davis Jr. for Beetlejuice. But the studio executives were like, nah, we don't like that idea at all.
Especially, like, you would have been a little bit up there for the time, you know, like, age-wise, something like that, too. So, also, like older actor, Sammy Davis Jr., but I still would have loved to see it, though. You know,
I think it would have been great.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure he would have had a blast doing it, but also, I don't know if that would have made for a better film or not.
During the sequence where Adam and Barbara enter Juno's office and see her speaking to a recently deceased football team, a movie theater full of ghosts can be seen through Juno's office window. When the film was released in theaters, the scene created the illusion that the living and dead audience could see each other. Among the ghosts in the audience are a red skeleton and a green skeleton, identical to the one seen in Tim Burton's later movie Mars Attacks. A woman with red hair and two men in suits and Ray-Ban style sunglasses, a.k.a. the Blues Brothers. Mm-hmm. That's hilarious.
Tim Burton has some like efficiency there where he kind of like reuses characters from movies to movies almost in like kind of way, or like the props he kind of has like there's ideas he has like in his head for like years to come, like things could see now turned later.
There's a director's trademark from Tim Burton with dogs where the Matlin's deaths are caused by a stray dog wandering around the bridge as the car topples over. It's also the same dog that ran out in front of him on the way down to town, so I think it's pretty cool. It's the same.
Mm-hmm. Good foreshadowing in the scene.
Right. Mm-hmm. This is Michael Keaton's favorite film of his own.
That makes sense. I think it's an excellent. I mean, it's a breakout performance for him, and like he had so much fun with it. I'm sure he loves it. You know, Alec Baldwin. I actually had the trivia from the live show. Like this is the film he disliked the most.
Oh yeah,
his performance in the most. He likes the movie, but he hates his performance in it.
Right.
You know, sad deal there.
The studio originally wanted to call this film House Ghosts. And as a joke, you know, Tim Burton was like, well, I'm going to come up with something, give it to him. How about Scared Sheetless? And he was actually kind of worried when the studio was like, "Hey, we like that.
That's a genius idea.
Great. It's what a play on words."
Like, oh no, don't.
Can you imagine what would have happened? That would have been funny.
Oh gosh, the movie would have flopped so hard.
According to Tim Burton, it took a lot of time to convince cast members to sign on, as they thought the script was too weird. Which it's a weird movie. Gina Davis was the only cast member who would commit to the project at first. Michael Keaton, Winona Ryder, Catherine O'Hara, and Sylvia Sidney all said no at least once. Producer David Geffen convinced Michael Keaton's manager to convince Keaton to meet with Burton. Once Keaton said yes, Burton personally called Sidney and begged her to do the movie, and he flew out to meet with O'Hara to convince her.
Yeah, that's one of those things where like the line between the line between genius or just crazy idiot is just so thin. Like it's two sides of the same coin, and you don't know if you're looking at this script. You're like, what in the world is going on?
You know,
here?
I always think back. Probably the biggest one in history that I think that this happened to was Sean Connery when he was offered the role of Gandalf.
Yeah,
and he was like, I don't understand the script, so no. But then League of Extraordinary Gentlemen came on, and he's like, hey, I didn't understand the Lord of the Rings script. I said, no, I'm going to say yes to this. And I'm like,
yeah.
One of these is not like the other.
Also, how basic is Sean Connery?
I love Sean Connery.
He thought Lord of the Rings was like, oh, it's too out there. It's too crazy. It's like, the book's like even at the point of the movie releasing, like, nearly 100 years old. It's like, dude.
Man,
and it's the most classical fantasy ever. It's like not even whatever.
When Adam and Barbara are in the office, a voice on the PS system announced Flight 409 is arriving at Gate 3. United Airlines Flight 409 crashed into a mountain in Wyoming on October 6, 1955, killing all passengers and crew aboard. At the time, it was one of the worst plane crashes in history. To this day, no one knows why it crashed.
Mm-hmm. I think the pilot error. I think the plane went down. That's why it crashed.
Kyle, a toy line, was released in conjunction with the film and featured action figures of most of Beetlejuice's incarnations, as well as Otho, Adam, whose figure had him wearing his famous red baseball cap. The shrunken head man from the waiting room, his figure was named Harry the Haunted Hunter, and came with a detachable head showing what he looked like before death.
I'm just laughing. It's just like, who had it on their Christmas gift? And, the little boy was like, I want Otho for Christmas.
Kyle, you're going to buy Otho on eBay. How much is he going for?
I bet he's $1,000. They probably only made 10.
Julia Lewis auditioned for the role of Lydia. All right, here's some other people that auditioned for Lydia. You ready?
Yes.
Lori Loughlin. Aunt Becky from Full House.
Oh, just...
Well, she wasn't a gel.
Yeah.
Diane Lane.
Yeah, I could see it.
Sarah Jessica Parker.
It's... No.
Brooke Shields.
That'd been cool.
Definitely.
Yeah, that'd been cool.
Oh, Justine Bateman. Absolutely, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Molly Ringwald. And Jennifer Connelly. Well, they all turned down the role, so all of the people were asked and they turned it down. The snake scene had been filmed before Michael Keaton was cast as Beetlejuice, and the animatronic snake used bore absolutely no resemblance to him. Mm-hmm. After Keaton had been cast, some additional film was shot for the scene using a stop-motion snake that looked more like Beetlejuice. Mm-hmm. This was suggested by the studio to make sure the audience knows that the snake is actually Beetlejuice and not some random monster in the afterlife that will eat you.
Oh, Jimbo, I am surprised here. The Otho figures, the original 1989 Otho figures,
still in pack.
They're still in pack, and they go for less than $60 right now. Right now, we have like $40 and $10 shipping on a couple of them. I already saw, but you can see the picture right there. That's Otho in the pack, and he's just wearing his scarf. He's green. He's got a weird snake animal companion with him.
It's Beetlejuice.
It's supposed to be Beetlejuice, but I don't remember that scene in the movie.
I don't either.
And his head is going real crazy right now. But man, that's some.
You need to add that to your life.
To a wish list. Yeah, I need to put that on my shelf and just think about the Otho action figure. Even unboxed, only $35. That's not bad.
One of the controversial comedians, Sam Kinison, was being thought as being cast as Beetlejuice, but Kinnison's agent never told him about it. He's like, nah, you better just stay away from this movie.
It would have been a different vibe for him. I definitely, it's not a Sam Kinison kind of movie.
No, but if he could have ad-libbed 90% like Michael Keaton did in this movie, it could have been.
Yeah, he could have made it his own movie.
I don't think it would have been a PG rating.
It wouldn't have been a PG rating, and I don't think it would have been very good. I like Sam Kinison a lot, don't get me wrong. His comedy is like when it was good, it was really, really good. When it was bad, it was really bad.
When Glenn Shaddix, who played Kyle's favorite Otho, died in September of 2010, the last song performed at his memorial service was Deo.
Deo. Work all day.
The Banana Boat song.
Banana Boat song.
Which was used at the dinner party scene. Along with Spaceballs, Big, and Caddyshack 2, this movie is noticeably noticed for containing the F word in a film rated PG during the PG-13 era.
Yeah, really shocking. I don't know how you get away with that, really. Surely they would stop you from using the F word in a PG movie, but no, apparently not.
The movie's box office success created plans for a sequel. Beetlejuice Goes to Hawaii, which I think would have been hilarious. But a script was actually commissioned, and Michael Keaton and Winona Ryder both signed on to reprise their respective roles. But Tim Burton soon lost interest in the project and went on to direct just a little movie called Batman. Yeah. And Batman Returns instead. Mm-hmm. As of recently, they're still trying to get a sequel into production. And here later in the notes, I've got the guy that's working on it. We'll get to it, though.
Oh, maybe we get a quick question for you right now. Do you think that will happen in this new age?
I absolutely do not think they will ever get a Beetlejuice movie out.
You don't think you'll ever get a Beetlejuice? I feel the exact opposite.
Before Michael Keaton or Winona Ryder dies?
Oh, no, absolutely. I think they do. I think in this new age of reboot sequels, they're going to absolutely get Michael Keaton back in there.
If they reboot it, then they don't need Michael Keaton.
Oh, yeah, they reboot it. They don't need him. But do a requel.
Do I need to show you the Munster trailer?
I mean the requel scenario, like Scream 5 or whatever.
The Munster trailer?
The Munster trailer. Yeah, I know.
It's going straight to Netflix now because
I thought it was going to Hulu or something.
No, it's going straight to Netflix.
Okay, cool. It's going to be that bad. But I absolutely think we're going to get that requel of Beetlejuice 2 someday.
The only reason I say that is because when this came out in
89, 88.
Okay. So we're here, 30 years later. Mm-hmm. And it's been talked about since this movie was done. I mean, you've had a lot of those
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure 3, you know.
Yeah, but those you've had a lot of those fan fiction posters come out. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. I would like to see it. But I don't want to see it because I think it's going to be terrible too. You know what I mean? It's one of those.
I think it has a strong chance of being awful. It really does.
Especially with Otho not being there anymore.
I could totally see that being on one of the major new streaming services, like a Paramount Plus or a Disney Plus, something like that.
I think I would rather see it as a TV show, a series.
I could see that happening too. It could be a limited run series, something like that too. Something that opens the avenue for new movies that don't have to have Michael Keaton or Winona Ryder, but having a first run have those two.
Or not even that, or have, if you do a TV show and you could explore some of the other characters in there.
Yeah.
You know, like Harry the Hunted Head Shrinker or whatever he was. You know, or even different, maybe Beetlejuice has a family, you know, and you got a crazy cousin or whatever. You could take those different avenues.
All kinds of silly things you could do. You know, I could see a cartoon being made of this show easily. All these kind of crazy things. I think, it's not something I necessarily want. I just think it will happen just out of pure business direction because I think there's still such a huge
I mean, if you look on IMDb, it says it's coming soon or whatever.
Oh, yeah, it says, it's always...
But it's coming soon. I think, you can go into IMDb and change whatever you want. So.
Oh, yeah. But, I mean, there's been so much movement for, the streaming wars now kind of thing of, trying to get all these properties back into the mainstream, pop culture zeitgeist. And, we got to make sure we have, an avalanche of content being made to order to, flood our network so there's always stuff to watch. And I think, Beetlejuice is just too popular of a property to leave dormant. You will make something about Beetlejuice regardless of who you can get back. If Tim Burton and Michael Keaton and Winona all say no, you still make something with Beetlejuice on the title of it in the next 5 to 10 years.
Is that a Kyle guarantee?
That's a Kyle guarantee right there, yes. And when you get a Kyle guarantee,
I remind
there's
me in 10 years.
Something about maybe happening.
At the dinner party, Otho states that people who commit suicide end up as civil servants in the afterlife. This is actually expanded on in the film where the civil servants ghosts that Adam and Barbara meet in the afterlife are people who have apparently ended their own lives. The receptionist says she committed suicide. There was a man who hanged himself, which you see him flying through there, and the crushed messenger is implied to have done it himself. Juno looks normal, but there are scars on her neck that indicate she cut her own throat. Beetlejuice is said to have been a civil servant and Juno's assistant. It was going to be explained in the film that he hanged himself, which incompletely and very painfully due to heartbreak. While this was cut out of the film for running time purposes, it is in when Beetlejuice is surprised at Lydia wishing to die. You know, I kind of like to find the lost scenes of Beetlejuice, like the cut scenes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, what if they had an expanded universe where they had more TV shows and movies?
All the people in the waiting room and in the office are in the same condition as when they died, and that way they died is shown clearly. You know, you have the lady sawn in half. You have the burn victim when he's like, "You want to smoke?" He's like,
my favorite guy is the guy with the incredibly large chicken bone just stuck to his neck at the very beginning of the first scene.
Okay, that Kyle, you made that too easy to walk right into that joke. So that's Kyle. Let's go get some chicken. No, Kyle, stay away from the chicken. No. But however, oddly enough, the Matlins who drowned are not wet. Tim Burton felt that keeping the actors wet all the time would be too uncomfortable.
And I think he's right.
Yeah, but it's a movie. You got to have that
consistency.
Continuity.
Otherwise, all illusion is lost. But no, it would be really.
All right, here you go,
to
Kyle. Consider for the role of Beetlejuice. Dudley Moore.
Dudley. No.
Michael Keaton based his performance of Beetlejuice on Chop Top, who was from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Keaton later would co-star with Chop Top himself, Bill Moseley, Moseley? M-O-S-E-L-E-Y.
I think Moseley.
In the 2002 HBO movie Live from Baghdad, released 14 and a half years later.
Oh, cool.
When Beetlejuice turned into a merry-go-round, Michael Keaton has bat wings on his ears. And Keaton's next film would be what?
Batman.
And Batman Returns. The skeleton head on top of the merry-go-round looks remarkably like Jack Skellington, a skeleton figure which Tim Burton had been drawing since 1982. It would ultimately be used as the main character of The Nightmare Before Christmas, which Burton co-wrote and produced.
Yeah, that's one thing. It's like one of those things again.
Did you like that movie?
Yeah, I think it's fine. I don't have like the cult following to it that other people have, but like I always thought it was a good film. And also that's just because like Tim Burton, I think more so than a lot of directors, even though a lot of directors do the same thing. Like he gestates on ideas for literally 10, 20, or even 30 years, and then finally makes the film when he feels like he has something good going on. Nowadays, maybe not so much because he made some pretty awful movies in the past 10 years, but. Overall, he still has ideas of like, oh, okay, like, he's been driving that since 1982, and then like more than a decade later, still doing Nightmare Before Christmas.
Right,
so cool stuff there.
The Beetlejuice doesn't appear until 25 minutes into the film, and ultimately appears in less than 20% of the film in its entirety. Michael Keaton spent only 2 weeks filming. I think somewhere in here said he only had like 14.5 minutes of actual on-screen time.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
Yeah, actually, I think I've got the filming dates right here. If I can take a look at it real quick, and I can tell you exactly. The filming dates were between March 11th and 1987, and June 11th. So August, January, February, March, April.
Did you throw
2 months?
August into there?
April and August, and then get flipped around for me a little bit. But so a 2-month filming time for which Michael Keaton only had 2 weeks part of. So so he was only like an eighth of the time.
So the casting of Lydia officially came down to just 2 actresses, namely Winona Ryder and Alyssa Milano.
Yeah, that's Alyssa Milano would not have been a bad choice.
No.
Yeah.
No. A set of screen-used foam latex prosthetic pieces, which were the faces Adam and Barbara pull off trying to scare the Dietzes, were found in an English couple's home during filming for a UK show called Cash in the Attic, where people put personal items up for auction to raise cash. But the pieces were in such poor condition that they didn't sell. Mm-hmm. But I wonder how much they would sell today, knowing that they were from the movie Beetlejuice.
Oh, way too much. But yeah, that's another thing too. I need to bring that up too with the practical effects. People go on and on about how much they hate CGI or something like that, and they love practical effects done all the time because it looks more real to them. I think this film is the fine example of how practical effects look fake all the way, but that helps the movie because it makes it more approachable, funny for kids. It makes it less gross and grotesque.
I sometimes make it more grotesque.
Oh yeah, I think practical effects usually do, but this film goes the other way of practical effects, where I feel like the practical effects make the movie more approachable for all kind of audiences, where it makes it a little bit less gruesome because it all looks less fake enough that it's okay to just be kind of comfortable with yourself in it. And like, oh, okay, that's the idea they're going for, but it's not that thing I'm looking at and being disturbed by. And I feel like this is actually kind of the best part of practical effects, looking fake and not looking real. And I think Beetlejuice did a fine job of that specifically. Like, all the practical effects in Beetlejuice just look like weird plaster and latex and all that kind of stuff. It's great.
Delia has a knack for repurposing clothing to wear in different styles. And I had read this, and so when I watched it, I was trying to watch closely. So in one scene, she wears the red sweater that Charles wore in a previous scene, except she's wearing them as pants. She wears the sweater upside down with her legs in the armholes and held up around her waist with suspenders. During the Dietz' first dinner in their new house, Delia is seen with an elaborate decorative black hairband wrapped around her head that nearly resembles feathers. The headband is actually a pair of intertwined women's gloves.
Oh my gosh.
So, she is that artist, and she's always making that weird stuff. So,
gotta be out there, kind of like just gotta shake up the box and like do weird things to see what happens. You gotta throw things at the wall, see what sticks sometimes. And when you're an artist like Delia, well, you make a lot of weird decisions. When you're not a great artist, you still make all those weird choices and they don't pan out.
Beetlejuice says, I've seen The Exorcist about 167 times, and it gets funnier every time I see it. Gina Davis later starred as Angela Rance, which was the adult Reagan McNeil in the television adaptation of The Exorcist.
Oh, wow. Small world.
I did not know that, yeah. Beetlejuice's black and white striped outfit suggests he is a prisoner to the curse that's befallen him. I think that's very interesting. And not only that, but Adam has that black checkered shirt, remember? And he's like, hey, hermano!
Shop at the same stores.
Yeah. Kirstie Alley was the first choice for the role of Barbara, but the producers of Cheers wouldn't let her out of her contract to take the role. Also considered for the role were Sigourney Weaver.
Oh, wow.
Linda Blair, which would have been hilarious just due to the fact that he just said that about The Exorcist.
Yeah.
Goldie Hawn, Laura Dern, and Linda Hamilton.
Ooh. Linda Hamilton would have been cool. Laura Dern would have been cool. Sigourney Weaver would have been amazing because it's Sigourney Weaver. Yeah, actually, I like all those castings. Yeah. I think they could all do a great job.
The scene where Beetlejuice eats the fly is a tribute to the great horror film The Fly. Mm-hmm. Gina Davis starred in The Fly, The Fly remake. Michael Keaton himself was offered the lead role in The Fly, but he turned it down, which would have been awesome. Yeah. When Beetlejuice pulls a fly underground at the beginning of the movie, you can hear the fly scream the famous line from that film.
Help me, help me!
Very good, Kyle.
I did perfectly. That was spot on. Yeah, the original film.
The title character is named for the bright red star in the constellation of Orion.
I don't know.
Really? You gave the fact at the live show and you don't know?
I forgot already.
The Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice. Thank you. Beetlejuice. I knew it. I was just testing you, Jimbo.
Angelica Houston was originally meant to be Delia, but she was ill and couldn't come in for filming.
Oh, wow. That's sad.
That would have been good, too. Mm-hmm. After the surprise box office success of Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Tim Burton found he was the hot director, being sent all the top scripts. However, he disliked all of them and was on the point of starting to write his version of Batman when he was sent Michael McDowell's original screenplay. He loved the premise and promptly signed on. Michael Keaton only appeared in this film 14.5 minutes of the entire film.
Yeah.
I wonder how much... Kyle, something we need to start doing again. We did it me and Terrence did it at the beginning, but we need to try to start finding the salaries for the people in the movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Those can be tough to find sometimes.
Right. So, at one point, Tim Burton considered none other than legendary action star Arnold Schwarzenegger for the role of Beetlejuice. However, the Geffen Company felt that due to Schwarzenegger's reputation at the time as an action star, people wouldn't take it seriously. But Burton approached Schwarzenegger anyway. He turned it down as he was busy shooting The Running Man. And legend has it, he told Burton, if you have anything else,
let me know.
I'll be back,
yeah. I think that's kind of fun. I think we recognize it now, factors like John Cena and The Rock, that they have great comedic timing sometimes. And I wish Schwarzenegger did get more of those comedic roles early on in his career.
Well, you seen how funny it was, what was it, Twins?
Oh, yeah, Twins. Oh, yeah. He knocked out of the park. Or Junior. Yeah, like films like that, too. And even like modern films. Like, I remember like the last Terminator Dark Fate movie, he had like a really good comedy, like straight comedy line in those films talking about like hanging curtains as an interior decorator. Really funny
Kindergarten
stuff. Kindergarten Cop, yeah. Well, the movie is both when it should only be one. The movie's the beginning and end is just like the straightforward action movie, dark, gritty, real, and then the comedy in between. It's like just you get whiplash in that film if you don't watch it right.
Adam's black and white checkered shirt is the same one worn by Tom Selleck in 3 Men and a Baby.
3 Men and a Baby.
All right, Kyle, I'm going to see if you know who this name is. I bet you don't know who this
Probably
is.
not. You're going to let me go, oh.
Heather Langenkamp. Do you know who that is?
Never heard it in my life. That's
Really?
not an actor. It's not even a person.
She was considered for the role of Lydia after Tim Burton saw her in the movie A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, that movie.
She turned down the part because she didn't want to play a goth girl.
You know, maybe I'm going to contradict myself from a decade ago or something like that, but I never liked the first Nightmare on Elm Street film. I didn't. I think it's bad. Oh, exactly.
Well, there goes half our listening audience. Thanks, Kyle.
I don't think it aged well. I'll say that much.
Kyle, I didn't either.
Yeah, okay.
I think part 2's really started to step up for me.
Yeah, part 2 is when it came into the character of like,
because Freddy wasn't in it very much, just a little bit in the first one. But we've already done that movie.
We have, yes, we have.
Ironically, Beetlejuice was the first DVD sent out by Netflix. Yes, kids. Netflix used to actually ship out DVDs to people's home, and then they could return them as kind of like a Blockbuster at home for the lazy man in 1998. So the very first one ever. So that's a little bit of trivia. If you're ever on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, you
remember when they were going to have that whole thing where they were going to split the service between delivery and one for streaming. And there were going to be 2 separate companies,
and that didn't go
they got
well.
so much backlash. Like 2 days later, they're like, "We're sorry, we ever said we were going to do this. You can go back to streaming. You're fine."
Bill Pullman was considered for the role of Adam. I think that would have been pretty good too.
That would have been cool too.
All right, here's some people to consider to play Beetlejuice. I want to hear yes or no. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Dustin Hoffman.
Yes,
I don't think
absolutely.
So.
I love it.
Robin Williams.
Yes, absolutely. He would have.
Christopher Lloyd.
Wow.
He kind of looks like Beetlejuice without.
Yeah, he looks like a real Beetlejuice.
Jim Carrey.
Yeah, he could have done it. Sure. Yeah, you look over the role he did like as the Riddler in Batman.
Tim Curry.
Tim Curry does everything perfectly. So yes, of course.
Jack Nicholson.
I mean, yes, but it's a different movie.
Bill Murray.
Once again, easy win.
Robert De Niro.
No, I couldn't see Robert De Niro.
And John Cleese.
Oh, John Cleese, of course. He was a legend even back then. I'll tell you one actor I would have, like, in like crazy alternative world, Bill Paxton. I think he could have knocked it out of the park.
Probably.
Yeah.
In the waiting room at the end of the film, the bottom half of the magician's assistant that Beetlejuice tries to fill up was played by Tim Burton's then girlfriend. I wonder in the credits if it says bottom half of Salt and Half Girl played by. There is actually a Broadway musical, Beetlejuice. It actually went to Broadway March 2019 after pre-Broadway at the National Theater in Washington, D.C. starting mid-October 2018.
I'm sure it'd been a cool show to see.
Wes Craven was the first choice to direct this film, and I think, Kyle and I were talking earlier, I think it would be a totally different film.
Oh, absolutely. I think so too. I think it would have been a lot darker, a lot more serious. I don't think it would have been nearly as approachable.
Do you think that? Do you think they could have made Beetlejuice the next iconic horror villain slasher like Freddy, Jason?
It would depend on how much the initial script described Beetlejuice as we know him now,
right,
as being so zany and kooky and over the top. But there was,
I mean, that's basically Chucky. He's over the top, zany, funny, but he's also a slasher. Mm-hmm. So I would like to see a script with that. I think it could be done. Mm-hmm. It's just, you know what? And okay, I'm going to go off on a little rabbit trail here. Here's what I want to see happen. Okay, the trailer for Halloween Ends just came out.
Yeah.
Okay.
I saw it today.
Here's what I want to happen. Mm-hmm. Spoiler alert. This is what Jimbo wants to happen.
Spoiler speculation.
I hope it's not a spoiler because I will be like, wow, I nailed that.
If you projected it.
What I want to happen, I want Laurie Strode, who is obviously Jamie Lee Curtis, and Michael Myers. I want them to battle it out the whole movie. And then I want Michael Myers to kill her. And then I want her granddaughter to kill Michael Myers, like cut off his head, whatever. Mm-hmm. And then I want to see her go over there. I want to see her pick up the mask, and I want to see her put it on her face. And then we have the first female slasher in horror. Besides, I spit on your grave or whatever. You know what I mean? Because we don't have a female slasher iconic as a lot of these other people.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, I totally get what you mean, and I agree with you. I feel like,
and that way, it also leaves the door open for future franchise of the Halloween.
Yeah.
That's just what I hope happens, but I don't think it will.
Mm-hmm.
When Adam and Barbara look at the mirror and can't see the reflections, it's Gina Davis and Alec Baldwin looking into the set with the glass removed and the fireplace turned around at the opposite side.
Impressive little film work there.
Tim Burton feared the Deo sequence wouldn't go over well, since in his opinion it wasn't very funny. He turned out wrong though, because audiences loved it, and he thinks it's and they think of it as one of the film's most iconic scenes, which is funny because when they start dancing around the table, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's funny. When Barbara holds up Adam's severed head, Alec Baldwin was kneeling behind a black show card that was cut around his chin. Oh, here's some more for Otho, Kyle.
Yes.
John Candy. Man, R.I.P.
Oh, man. What a knocked it out of the park, too. John Candy, never a bad role for John
Bob
Candy.
Hoskins, R.I.P.
Bob Hoskins. Ooh, that would have been cool. Yeah, I could see it.
It's me, I'm Mario.
Yeah. Good old Mario. Just launch his head first to the window in the first scene. It'd be great.
John Goodman.
It's a different character at that point, but still a great character, always.
Among the times the number 3 is used in this film, if you look at Beetlejuice's left wrist as he is tanning on the roof of Dante's Inferno, you'll see he's wearing 3 watches. Another note of usage in the film when Beetlejuice is in the waiting room, you see he is 4th in line, which means there are 3 others ahead of him. Also, if you say his name 3 times, and then the 3 times you have to say home, home, home. So, a lot of different 3 is represented very well in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
When Adam and Barbara are sitting next to the model before Jane arrives, they are directly next to the covered bridge on the model, which is where they died in real life.
Oh.
The football
foreshadowing.
Yep. The football players bothering Juno are a reference to the 1970 crash of Southern Airways Flight 932, which took the lives of 37 players of the Marshall University football team, along with 8 of the coaching staff and 25 boosters. While the Marshall school colors are green and white, the team is wearing red uniforms in this film.
I had a lazy U.S. history teacher that was the coach of their sports team, and I saw We Are Marshall pretty much every other day in school for the entire year. And that movie is dead to me.
So next week on
that is my history of We Are Marshall, the movie, and that event, which is very sad. But also that movie is just I can't see it again.
When Adam and Barbara are exchanging gifts, the wrapping paper that Barbara takes off hers has Beatles on it.
Ooh, cool.
Charles screams at Delia and Otho not to touch his new office. They must have actually took him literally because the Maitland's wedding picture is still on the bookcase.
Oh, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, they didn't even take the old photo.
Beetlejuice name is often misspelled because he doesn't want to be summoned by every person that happens upon his name and unintentionally says it 3 times while trying to pronounce it. The Matlins only learned how to pronounce it once he broadcast a commercial specifically to them.
Mm-hmm.
Adam and Barbara are inspired by Barbara and Johnny from the opening scene of Night of the Living Dead. They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Oh, yeah.
Lydia also mentions Night of the Living Dead when she first meets the two. Charles is also seen reading The Living and the Dead, a magazine that shares a similar title. Seth Graham Smith, who wrote Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, and who has worked with Tim Burton on adaptation of Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, and the big screen revamp of Dark Shadows, is working on a Beetlejuice sequel. It is assumed the script he developed is not set in Hawaii like Burton wanted in the 90s. So, it says he's working on a script. We'll see.
There's, all deals are always happening. Everyone's in the meeting room talking about all kinds of possibilities all the time. And 99% of it never sees the light of day for good reason. But I still think there will be something called Beetlejuice within the next 10 years, easily. I think I'm almost certain that it will happen eventually. But whether or not they'll be good, hard to say. And also, that's just it. That's in there.
The idea for the movie came after Poltergeist was a great big hit, but the idea of bad ghosts was flipped. The people who moved into the house would be the awful ones, and the ghosts would be good. The Maitland's bumper sticker says, "I break for animals," which obviously they killed them.
Yeah.
When Beetlejuice appears to the Maitlands in the TV ad, he performing in the model cemetery long before it's even revealed he's in the model. I thought you could tell right away, especially after the beginning of the movie when he eats the fly. But
when he eats the fly. I was thinking like when he was actually reading the newspaper there, like he was implied to be in the model, just waiting for him. But it'd be too early for the film.
In the first scene, Adam receives a Harry Belafonte cassette in the mail.
Harry Belafonte. Oh yeah, because for
the Banana Boat song is even briefly heard early on in the film after Adam and Barbara had just died.
Yeah.
Same song, of course, is played later at the dinner party.
Yeah.
During the dinner party, Otho mentions he used to be a paranormal researcher in New York before the market collapses. And he makes a joke that people who commit suicide become civil servants. Obviously, this knows that Otho has legitimate knowledge of the supernatural, which comes into play in the film's climax. There's also something in here where, when he says about the market collapsing, that it's a nod to Ghostbusters from 1984.
That makes sense.
If we get to it, I'll read it.
Otho was a Ghostbuster.
When the
secret fifth Ghostbuster.
When the Maitlands drive to the store, I already said that. So the TV show Community, Kyle, which started airing over 20 years after the release of Beetlejuice, staged an elaborate but extremely subtle multi-year tribute to the movie. During the first 3 seasons of the show, a character said the word Beetlejuice once a season until just after the 3rd season mentioned an extra in a Beetlejuice Halloween costume walks by in the background. This is a reference to the ideal established in the movie that if you say Beetlejuice's name 3 times, he will appear.
Cool stuff. Yeah, no, excellent. Like, making a 3-year gag pretty elaborate. So, good on Dan Harmon and the Community cast for getting that done.
Oh, here's another one for Otho. Wayne Knight.
Ooh, of course,
Newman.
Wayne Knight. Yeah,
Yes.
Newman. Yeah, easily could have played that Jurassic Park.
Michael Keaton came up with much of the character's look himself. He told the makeup department he wanted mold on his face and his hair looking as if he'd stuck his finger in an electric socket, and he requested that the wardrobe department send him clothes from all different time periods. Here it is. Otho claimed to be a paranormal researcher in New York before the market collapsed, but this doesn't explain what he meant by that. It could be a nod to Ghostbusters from 1984, where the characters of that film capture and store ghosts out of service.
Yeah, I like to think that Ghostbusters took out all the business away, and then when they go straight up, all they
he had to leave.
Failed. So yeah, the paranormal research in New York fell all because of the Ghostbusters.
That's hilarious. I like that.
That's great.
Let's see here. When Beetlejuice is in the model before he meets the Maitlands, he lured a fly out with a candy bar, which we've already said. He eats the fly as a chilling helmet. Gina Davis did appear on the fly with her soon-to-be husband Jeff Goldblum, who uttered the same line as he metamorphoses into a human fly. You ever watch that, Kyle?
No, not well. Yeah, I've seen The Fly, obviously, but I haven't. Not recently. Probably not in the past 5 years. Probably.
It's pretty grimy.
It is very, very grimy, and I remember watching it when I was too young and having a lot of nightmares. So that was fun too.
In Beetlejuice's forced wedding, Lydia is dressed as bright red. According to the old rhyme about wedding dress colors, married in red, better off dead. So
crazy.
During the scene in the graveyard after the Maitlands and where Gina, of course, Baldwin and Davis leave, when Beetlejuice gets mad and kicks the tree, originally the tree was not supposed to fall, but on that take, Beetlejuice kicks the tree. It falls down, and he turns around and he ad-libs a line, "Nice effing model, honk honk," to the set designer who messed up. Burton loved it so much that he actually left it in there because it wasn't in the script, so all that was ad-libbed by Keaton, which is hilarious that he stayed in character.
Even though breaking the fourth wall, he still doesn't break character, and I love that about him.
And when Beetlejuice goes ahead, says, "Go ahead and make my millennium" in the model after turning into a snake, while speaking to Adam and Barbara, he's referencing Clint Eastwood's famous line from Dirty Harry. Go ahead and make my day.
It all links together. Next week's going to be all comes full circle next week.
Right. So, Kyle, what's your thoughts on Beetlejuice?
Beetlejuice. I watched it probably.
Beetlejuice.
Oh no! Michael Keaton. Pleasure to meet you.
Michael Keaton. He didn't say Beetlejuice. Michael. Can you just see pop in and be like, again, really?
It's all the time. I need to go home. Yeah. I've watched it like 2 or 3 times over the past couple of weeks to make sure I get ready for this live event and feel like I'm good about the work here going forward. The more I watch it, the more I think I like it. I think it kind of it grew on me a little bit more. And I appreciate for what it did for the time and what it did for Tim Burton's career. Made a lot of cool movies afterwards. We got the Michael Keaton's Batman, obviously, and really cool stuff there. So both historically, I really like what it did, and personally, I think it's a really solid movie, worth watching. Even now, I think it makes death more approachable and easier to talk about with young people sometimes, to explain death and not make it something that is to be feared or dreaded or something that we not allowed to talk about, or a taboo subject, if you will. It makes it death is a part of life kind of thing. So I think that's kind of a cool message to send to anybody. So I think it makes it a good film overall. So overall, I really appreciate the film and enjoy it. Jimbo, how do you feel about Beetlejuice?
Man,
Michael Keaton.
Once you sit down and you watch it, and you start paying attention, not just watch it and enjoy the movie, because I did that. But when you start sitting down and you start thinking about everything that Michael Keaton's saying, it's kind of you could tell he's a bad guy. You know what I mean? Like he's a scary individual. And you see that when he's trying to marry her and all that. I like the scene where he's throwing the zipper on her mouth. She unzips it and says Beetlejuice again. Then he throws that big old iron
steel plate
on her mouth. I like this movie. It's a little Tim Burton-ish, if that's a word. I don't like a lot of Tim Burton movies because you have to be in the mood to watch them. Because I like Pee-wee's Big Adventure's fine because it's not as dark as this, I guess. Mm-hmm. Because most of Tim Burton's movies are dark, like Edward Scissorhands, The Corpse Bride, Nightmare Before Christmas. But even Batman and Batman Returns, it's the way he shoots it is dark. You know what I mean? There's no vibrant colors or anything. Yeah. But I really like Gina Davis in here. I like Alec Baldwin in this. I like Winona Ryder in this. I think it was almost a perfect cast. And they all work well together. And I like the story. The story was easy to follow. It was easy to flow through. And I love the practical effects. It's not all CGI. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I think that's what makes this movie, because I even like the old clay animation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
the clay animation, the snakes, the weird Art Deco kind of...
all that stuff.
Yeah, not Art Deco.
And I'm a fan of that stop motion. You know what I mean? And then I just think it worked really well for this movie. So... it gets a Beetlejuice from me. Also, before we start going into the end, I have to say that when we were sitting there and Steve and Rebecca Emery were there, and their daughter was supposed to come see us, Jenna, and she ended up going to one of their sister-in-law's house and watching some kids, and I said, well... it's her fault, and I told him I was going to rag on her on the podcast because she didn't come see us on the live event.
So this is the opportunity,
So this is my opportunity going out worldwide. That says Jenna,
calling you out.
You
should come to the live show.
You know what? We didn't really want you there anyway. Now.
Exactly. Yeah. We had a great time without you.
Yeah.
Didn't even know
fun
you were
without
gone.
you. Yeah, and we covered a movie that you liked. So there. Yeah. So no, it was fun. They actually won a DVD copy, and Kyle and I signed it. Yeah. And I put Jenna, wish you were here, and then not real big. So just having some fun. But I said I would say something on the podcast to her. So Jenna, hopefully the next time we do something live, you can come and enjoy it.
Have a good old show together.
And hopefully it's a movie you don't like too when you come.
Make it a proper shindig. All right.
So next week we will be talking about Dirty Harry for Carol Hedges. Yes, Carol.
Yes, prize winner.
Anything else to say, Kyle?
No, I think that just about covers it.
If you want to follow us on the Tragedy Cinema Facebook group, we have a lot of fun. Post newer information, trailers, memes, whatever.
Social media.
If you want to leave us a review, go to Apple Podcast or Google Play or Stitcher or whatever, and it'll come to us, and we'll read it on the air. But with that being said, I think this episode of Beetlejuice is coming to a close, and that's a wrap.
And cut.